Hey, I'm TJ, and in this video, I'll be showing you how to start learning to code today. Quick note, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, as I'll be posting a lot more resources and coding tutorials to help you on your coding journey. So, I've been helping people to learn to code for the past few years. In that time, I've helped people of all ages from the ages of 10 all the way up to 65-year-olds. And I always recommend that they all start at the very same place, with web development basics. Now, what is web development? Web development refers to designing and building websites. The reason I start beginners with web development basics is actually quite simple. One, they can start writing code right away without having to download or install anything. Two, they don't have to wait for the code to compile or any other technical issues. And last but not least, starting with web development basics helps beginners to really start to build their confidence and feel more comfortable, making it a lot easier to keep going. Anytime that you're learning something new, one of the most important aspects that you have to be conscious of and protect is your confidence. Because as soon as your confidence starts to wane, that's when you start to lose interest, and it makes it a lot harder to keep going. Even if your interest isn't really in building websites, whether it's in building AI or mobile games or working with the blockchain, whatever, I still recommend that you start with web development basics just to help you get used to writing code and start building your confidence, which will now make it a lot easier for you to branch into other technologies and tools that you're interested in. When it comes to web development basics, the core technologies that you need to know of are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, let's start with HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. That's not something that you have to memorize. Just know that HTML is a markup language that's used to define and describe the content on your web page. Simply put, HTML is the content on your website. If you want to add text or images or links, a drop down here, there, a button, whatever, you use HTML to define and describe that content.
Now, let's write your first piece of HTML code. Open up your browser and go to jsbin.com. Now, jsbin.com is an online text editor. A text editor is simply where you write code. So there will be HTML code already there for you, but just do as I'm doing so that you can write your first piece of HTML code. Boom. Now what you see on the right side of the screen in the output is how it would look if you were building your own website.
Now, CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS is the code you write to style your HTML content. So let's say that you want to change your font color to red or change the font size or something like that. You would use CSS to style that content to make it look the way that you want.
Now let's write our first line of CSS code. Go back to your browser and click on the CSS tab and just follow along with me. And boom, there you have it. You've written your first line of CSS code. When you write CSS code, what you are doing is actually specifying a rule for your CSS to apply to the HTML content. So here, we are saying that we want our HTML content to have a font color of red, and we are also specifying the font size that we want as well.
Now, JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language that lets you dynamically update content on your web page. So if you want a pop-up to happen every time a user clicks a button, or if you want your menu to slide down or something like that, right? JavaScript is used to add interaction to the content on your web page.
Now, let's write our first line of JavaScript code. Go back to your browser and click the JavaScript tab. And I'm sure that you've seen those annoying pop-ups on certain websites. Well, I'm going to show you how to write the JavaScript code that actually creates those. So just follow along with me. And there you have it. You've written your first line of JavaScript code. and go to the output and click run with JavaScript, and that'll actually execute that code. Good job.
So this is just a quick overview. So make sure that you subscribe, as I'll be posting more in-depth tutorials on each of these technologies to help you better understand how to use them. Also, make sure you check the description below for a free online tutorial that'll help you start learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript now. I'm here to help you on your coding journey, so feel free to comment below if you have any questions, and make sure that you subscribe so you can keep updated with the next videos and resources coming soon.